So what you saw there was the first game of the season, a very impressive display against Firenze. They were also promoted, so we can't look too much into that. So the top division days have begun with a nice win. We're still using last season's tactic. We've got alternatives, but I'm going to stick for now. Now the first big test is on the way. Looking at these fixtures, you'll see it's Braga away from home. Now they're one of the crack teams in Portugal. So this is going to be a tough one. So I'm going to go in depth on the opposition instructions and the in-match management of how I'm going to try and get a result in this one. Now having a little look at Braga, you can see why I am instantly worried. Now up top, they've got Sebastian Haller. I mean, how old is he now? He's 35, but he's still absolutely class and would walk into most teams in this division. And up front with him is Abel Ruiz, who is valued between 36 million and 55 million. Now I'm starting to panic. Other notable players you'll recognise is Serginho Dest, who's a really good fullback, 30 to 38 million. And in midfield, Alan Rodriguez from Uruguay. They're just, let's be real, far better than us. So we're going to have to work our nuts off to get a result. So what we're going to do now, we're away from home as well, which makes things even harder for us. I don't want to change our mentality, because if you go too defensive, I think we're just going to invite pressure on us. So I'll probably keep most of the team instructions the same going in. We might change it as we go, but we'll start off with opposition instructions. So into opposition instructions we go. They've also got Scott McTominay, by the way, who at this level is ridiculous. His physicals are outrageous. But they're playing a 4-4-2, so I'm guessing they want to go wide, and I want them not to do that. So Serginho Dest, who's more of a right-footed fullback, although good on the other side, I'm going to try and tuck him in by showing him onto his left foot. I'll do the same with left-back Conte. We'll show him onto his right foot, so that means that these two, when they get the ball, will be forced somewhat infield. Now I'm also going to do the same with their wingers. They've got Rodriguez on one side, who's only 20 years old, but he looks lightning, acceleration of 17. So we'll put him on his left foot, or weaker foot if you like, either or. And on the other side, they've got this guy called Elton Carvalho, who again is lightning. Really quick, but he's all left foot. So I'm going to put him on his right foot. Also looking at Carvalho, you can see his bravery is only 7. So I'm going to go in a bit harder on him. The two strikers, Haller is 35 now, so he's not going to get away from us from a standing start. So we can kind of worry less about him. Now Ruiz looks a bit more of a threat. He's got acceleration of 15 and pace 14, so he might get away from us. If we tight mark him too closely, could leave our centre backs for dead. So I'm actually going to tell them to not mark him tight and give themselves some room against him. So I'm hoping by remaining positive and not letting them come onto us too much with those opposition instructions, forcing them infield, I'm hoping the boys in the middle can win the ball back. Let's get into match and we'll tweak it in match. Okay, so straight away we can see that they're playing really wide. It looks like they're going for a really wide formation. The two wingers there, way wide. Fullbacks spread as well. More early thoughts. We're going to try and play through them. You can see that we've got a bit of a press coming on and we've got the ball, but we're in a good shape. The halfback's dropping in. Hugo's going to be really key in this match, dropping in, getting the ball. I'm just trying to work it through them because there's going to be gaps if they're going to play wide in that 4-4-2. So those two could be quite key as well, Fletcher and Felix. Match has actually started quite well. 23 minutes in, we're playing it around nicely. There's the inverted fullback just dropping in. And Bamba's getting loads of room down there. They're kind of disregarding him. Felix, it's all on him. This is not bad. Looking at the stats quite early, I can see there's a couple of players with key passes, Rodriguez and Serginho Dest. So we'll have to keep an eye on those two. So Rodriguez is the main guy ticking over in midfield. So I'm going to add tight marking to the opposition instructions to try and get a bit closer to him. So far though, it's holding up pretty well. You can see our halfback dropping deep, super deep there, starting the moves off. So he's there with the two centre-backs either side, and that 5 and 2 ahead of him. It's actually working quite well so far, and I'm really surprised. This is Braga, for God's sake, and there's the 5 right across. We've got options here. Tell you what, this is not bad. So first corner, it's 30 minutes gone. I'm well happy with this. Goes in. Ref stops play. Holy Jesus, we've got a chance to take the lead here. This season, Hugo Felix will be the man on penalties. Oh, let's go. Looking at their stats, it looks like Rodriguez is a lot quieter. 1 minute before half-time now. We just need to stick it out until half-time. But there is another highlight incoming. Damn it. Half-time, to be fair, we've been really good. Our XG is fantastic, and we're dominating possession against one of the better teams in the league. And there's a heat map. Our pass map's decent, actually, and theirs is kind of all over the place. So I'm having a look at our stats. You can see our key stats. There's plenty of key passes going on there. Quite happy. So I have noticed there might be a gap for us on the right-hand side. Felix is having a great game, and they're really pushing forward with their winger and wing-back on one side. So I'm going to add something to the team instruction. I'm going to ask an underlap to come in, try and get Hugo into that gap. Right, 68 minutes gone. I'll take this draw right now, thank you. So I'm going to play it safe by taking right-back Zhao off because he's got a booking. He's on a 6.4 as well, so we'll play it safe, and we'll take him out of the equation. It's just a safety first thing, and Vieira will come on. Now their key man is still Rodriguez. He's getting a little bit more space. He's left centre mid, so I'm going to make a slight change. I'm going to bring Bamba back. I'm going to take him off, get some fresh legs in Elvis Balde. I'm going to change his role to a wide midfielder on support, so he sits a bit closer to Felix to help him out against Rodriguez, and we'll add in Sit Narrow for this last 15 minutes. We'll also add a little bit of cheeky time wasting and a bit of slowing pace down because there's 15 minutes left. Now we've got a corner. Set pieces are actually our go-to at the minute. 77 minutes gone. We're working it quite nicely. In it goes. Header at the back post. Close. I mean, why not? There's only 13 minutes to go. We're under pressure, so let's get play for set pieces in there and try and nick one. As time ticks on, we're doing fine. There's 5 minutes to go. They're not offering anything. Our momentum's not bad either. So we're into injury time now. What can we do to just get through this? So Felix is still centre midfield attack. For the last 5 minutes, I just ask him to drop back ever so slightly and try and get this result. 92nd minute, they're in. You've got to be kidding me. The full-time whistle goes. Braga take it. We're so close. So normally I wouldn't probably do as many tweaks as that, but against a big team like that, especially if we've just got promoted, it's worth trying as much as you can. We then played Casapia. Away from home, this didn't go great. Some really sloppy mistakes, and they just ripped us to shreds. It's now that I realise the step up in class is going to be a big eye-opener. Yeah, that hurt. Yet another away game. This is free on the spin, by the way. Away to Vizela, who played really well in this one. A good response, but we fell to defeat despite dominating the match. So a tough start and then disaster struck. Do you ever get one of those loans where they ask you to play in a certain role and you maybe haven't done it for 2 games or so? Ferreira, who was our key player, according to the media, has gone back to Benfica after playing 1 match. When it rains, it pours. Last season's first choice centre-back Fernandes hasn't kicked a ball this season, out with a hip injury currently, on his way back. Which meant a deadline day swoop on you-know-who, Man City, and Craig Nelson is back for his 3rd spell at the club. What a pickup. Also, really importantly, £0 per week. He is a free hit. Another tough game, away to Benfica, probably the toughest of the season, and it didn't go well. But that was to be expected, and they didn't run away with it. If you look at the chances created, we did alright. Next, it was our first derby against Porto at a packed Salgueiros stadium. After only 5 minutes, we fell behind. But we played really well, and we went close on a few occasions. Finally succumbing to a 1-0 defeat, but we were definitely in the match. And we also got back in the winning groove thanks to a tactical tweak. In fact, we're on our best run of the season now, 4 undefeated, and we've only conceded 1 goal in our last 4 matches, and I'm putting it down to 1 small tweak to the tactic. And if you look at the tactic, it looks exactly the same, right? Same roles, pretty much everything the same, apart from one thing in out of possession. And it's this, invite crosses. I'm inviting crosses because, if you remember, the team that I've put on the pitch, I've got 4 centre-backs in there. They're all absolutely huge, good in the air. So my plan is invite crosses, which isn't a team instruction that I've used much in the past. I don't know about you. But what it does, it kind of sends them out wide and says, yeah, cross it because we're going to head it away. And since we've done that, our defence has been rock solid. Add to that the fact that Hugo has stepped up to the mark. His transfer value has gone up to 6 million now, and his attributes are rising. He's a future captain for us. He is the absolute key to this. So that good run, unbelievably, leaves us sitting in 8th position now. We've got 16 points, which is more than I thought we would have at this stage. And if you look down the bottom there, 16th, we're on 5. So we're 11 clear. This is a really, really solid start. But there's a long way to go. We've started well, but there was a hell of a long way to go. And if you look at our finances now, it's very unlikely we're going to be able to bring anybody in January. Man, we are burning through money. If you look at our player wages, it's 250,000 a month. Staff wages is 200,000 a month. I don't know what I can do to cut the floor here. But a positive is the continued development of Antonio Capellas. His attributes are all on the rise, some of them in a major way. And what I'm really happy about is the ones we're focusing on, agility and balance, both of them are skyrocketing. So he has the potential to be a big time player for us in terms of... And we must be doing something right. We're getting job offers off Everton, from the Premier League, and Borussia Mönchengladbach from the Bundesliga.